I can hear banging.
They're moving furniture.
Oh, do you think he's cleaning? They always get their cabin done before us, I've noticed.
They'll probably go to breakfast early.
Pinnacle.
And they're pinnacle. We are going to give you the full lowdown on what it is like to be a full suite guest on Anthem of the Seas. We're going to have breakfast, lunch and dinner in Coastal Kitchen, which is the suite exclusive eatery. We're going to take you around the suite sun deck, and we're going to show you what it's like in the Concierge Lounge, and where you get free drinks from 5 to 8 o'clock in the evening. Obviously you get a bigger balcony, but are you the sort of person to spend time on your balcony, or are you the sort of person to spend time on the pool deck? These are all things you want to consider. Let's start with one thing.
Yes.
Upgraded bathroom amenities. Maylin and Getz.
Okay.
You've just got out of the shower.
I have, yeah. The branded Malin and Getz, which we, to be fair, never heard of when they introduced them a few years back. And then now we're seeing them everywhere. We were walking down Regent Street in London a few weeks ago and there's like a store selling them. Are they as good as the previous branded toiletries they used to have, which was L'Occitane? No.
No.
But, you know, cost cutting and all that.
One of the things I do miss about toiletries on a cruise ship is the little ones that you can steal and take away with you.
Good for the planet, but not for thieves.
So that's the first thing. In the morning, you're going to have a shower and you're going to use the upgraded amenities. And I think they are wonderful. Really, really wonderful. Great quality, personally. Love them. The field is beautiful, eggs Benedict, obviously. The hollandaise sauce it looks a little bit thin, but you know, who am I to complain? And I've got some salmon on the side as well.
I'm one of those strange British people. I actually love a crispy bacon. My friends and family prefer the back bacon, which is more traditional in England, but I actually like the American style, so I'm very, very happy with this.
That is just amazing. Perfectly cooked, perfectly toasted. I'm a very, very happy man right now.
Here's the sausage, because
Americans can't do sausage.
Yeah, Americans cannot do sausage, but let's texture's a bit soft. The skin didn't put up much resistance. Taste is there. It tastes reasonably like a traditional English sausage. The skin is almost non-existent. It's almost like one of those brands that have skinless sausages that you kind of eat and go, that's wrong. So texture, not quite there. Taste, pretty decent.
I think it goes without saying that breakfast in Coastal Kitchen is pretty damn good. I'm a big fan of it and I love eating in there and I love the ambiance and the fact that it's nice and calm. And you can always get a table because it's not a case of trying to find somewhere to sit, and the service is impeccable. You've seen that. Let's move on to the cabins. Okay, so obviously if you're in a grand suite or above, you are going to have a lot more space. And so why don't we look at the numbers right here? And I'm doing that because I don't actually know what they are and I'm going to add them in later. So, ooh, there's a owner suite. Yeah, so I mean, essentially, if you're in a grand suite, it's like 2 cabins stitched together. If you're in an owner suite, it's 3 cabins switched together. And of course, there are all the special ones like Royal Loft Suites and things like that. I think they're all called a loft suite. I'm not sure, but they are all there for you to enjoy. Next, we have, of course, the suite sun deck. So let's head on upstairs and let's have a look at the suite sun deck. And when I say head on upstairs, we're going to cut to Anthony in the future because it's completely packed because we're on a sea day today. So we're going to go up there when nobody else is there. So you're either going to see it in the morning or late at night. Let's see what the future holds. Lovely. Right, one of the main benefits of obviously being a suite guest is this lovely suite sun deck that we have here on Anthem of the Seas. Now, the suite sun deck is open, I think, most of the day. It can get quite busy. As you can see, it's not the biggest area. It's not like the suite sun deck that you'd find on Wonder of the Seas or an Oasis class ship, but I think it's ample enough for what we have here on Anthem. Now, as I say, it's open all day. The problem I think we have with the suite sun deck is that there is no bar here. Now, waiters do come up and will take your drink order, but in the time that we've spent here, I've actually not seen one, which is, it is what it is, I guess. But there's loads of towels already here and there's a water fountain here if you do need to hydrate. But yeah, the suite sun deck, it's a lovely space, and on the sea day light today, and it is so calm, it's actually really, really pleasant. And of course, earlier today, as I said in the video, it was completely packed. So those that got out early, well done. We didn't. But yeah, lovely. And of course, you get to see all the goings on, like the sexiest man competition that was happening at lunchtime today, which was a sight to behold. Well, how about that, eh? Okay, so we've covered the cabin. You've got a cabin tour coming up. If you haven't subscribed already, of course, hit the subscribe button, because we will go through the cabin in a lot more detail. But here are a few glamour shots of this grand suite on Anthem of the Seas with some music that suggests luxury. Or not. Okay, let's head up to Coastal Kitchen now and let's go have some lunch.
Oh, lobster bisque.
What did you have for your starter?
Just Caesar salad, that's my regular.
The same lobster bisque that you'd get in Chops Grill. So if, like us, you went to Chops Grill the other night and you went, oh, well, I want a bit more of that, come to Coastal Kitchen. It's so rich, like, it's got so much depth. When it comes, it is just so good, honestly. It's one of those dishes that if I ever see it on a menu, I just immediately gravitate towards it. Can you hold that? Is yours bigger than mine?
I don't know, it just seems to be like a bit big for my mouth.
And when it comes to a burger, make sure you subscribe, because we're going to be doing a comparison between the burger you get on room service for a $7.95 room charge if you're not staying in a suite, and Johnny Rockets, which on this ship is $15. So make sure to subscribe for that. But this is the chicken burger, Coastal Kitchen for lunch. Hot take, that is better than KFC. Oh yeah. Oh, it's really spicy. Oh, the spice is coming through, that's really hot. If you like your spice and you like your chicken and a bit of bread, yeah, this is a good chicken burger.
Certainly crunchy and pretty good. And oh yeah, oh, spice, spicy. Yeah, I'm liking that.
So of course, once you've had your lunch in Coastal Kitchen and you want to relax, one of the other key benefits of having a suite is, of course, the bigger balcony. And if you are a balcony person, you like to spend time in your cabin, relaxing away from the crowds, particularly on Anthem, because even though it's a Quantum class ship, which is a big ship, when it's busy, particularly the pool decks, they're very, very busy. So this is a nice place where you can come and enjoy the serenity of the ocean and just kind of relax. And having this extra space, it does make the world a difference if you are the sort of person that enjoys a lot of quiet time. So yeah, this is actually for us one of the main perks of being a suite guest here on Anthem of the Seas. So we're here in the Concierge Lounge on Anthem of the Seas. And before we tell you a little bit about this space, let's go back a couple of hours to when we had our last meal of the day at Coastal Kitchen. Third time today. You do get to eat in Coastal Kitchen if you're in a junior suite for dinner. And of course, if you're Pinnacle, then obviously you get the opportunity to dine here as well in the evenings. And yeah, so the menu is looking pretty good today. It is a set, so they have 7 menus essentially that they rotate every week. So if you're on a more than a 7-night cruise, and you get the opportunity to have everything twice if you want. If you've never had snails, honestly, don't be afraid of them. They look like, well, they just look like little mushrooms, and they're soaked in so much garlic butter. You can't taste much else. They're really, really garlicky, really rich, very soft, and it comes with this piece of. Actually, look, it feels a bit stale actually. Ooh. The question is though, Glenn, is this as good as the black and blue soup from Crown Grill and Princess?
Like, it's very nice. It's very nice, but it can't compete with. Yeah, it's very kind of croutony and cheesy. And the onions are lovely and soft. Very beefy flavour. Very nice.
Go with the lobster cake, which has got bits of carrot, thermidor sauce. It's quite sweet. If I had to choose between the two, I'd go with the snails. Yeah, that's nicer. That's like a 6. Those are a 9.
It's like a really upmarket kind of Velveeta taste, if you know that reference. Very nice. Pasta's nice and it's got a little bit of chew to it still, which I like.
This is served with what looks like polenta, peas, and this yellow shit. Very nice. Definitely would recommend coming to Coastal Kitchen and having the chicken.
So, in true Glen style, I couldn't make up my mind between 2 desserts, which was the Napoleon and the lemon tart. So I got them both. Bien sûr. You know what? When a dessert is really good, you have to look at this. Quite a tart lemon layer. I like that. I'm a bit gutted it's such a small slice. But then I have to keep telling myself I do have another dessert in front of me as well, so I'll cope.
I've calmed down after watching Glenn lick a spoon. This is like a blancmange. It's called a coffee pot. Actually, it's quite nice. It looked a little bit like a kid's dessert, but it's like a mousse. But it's nice. It's not light, like airy, like you would get in a quality mousse. But it is very, very nice. I mean, it's not as decadent as your 2 desserts, Glenn. But if you're looking to lose a few pounds, go with this. Clearly made with semi-skim milk. And that sums up our time in Coastal Kitchen. Thank you, sir. That sums up our time in Coastal Kitchen. Why don't we go back to the Concierge Club and we'll see you there. And let's talk about some of the other benefits you have as being a suite guest, particularly on Anthem of the Seas.
So we had some time on the sun deck.
We did. The sun deck was lovely space.
Yeah, really nice space. Very, one point to bear in mind though is there's no shade. So if you're really good in full sun, you're going to love it. If you're not, you're going to struggle. So what it means for you, because it wraps around basically both sides of the funnel, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what you call it, the funnel? Whatever.
I don't know, the chimney.
Whatever that part of the top of the ship.
Only been on a lot of cruises.
Yeah, that part, it wraps around that. So the only way you're going to get shade is if you sit on the opposite side of the funnel to where the sun is. Otherwise, you're going to get full sun, which we don't like. I also don't like the fact that it has no restrooms or bar up there. We were told that there was bar service, but that's what, second or third time we've been up there now. I've not seen any drinks waiters up there, so maybe it does happen. I've just not seen it. So I think overall the sun deck on these Quantum class ships dedicated to the suite areas is not as good as that found on the Oasis class, in my opinion.
And I think as well, as you see with every generation of ship, not just type like you've got Quantum, Oasis, Icon, they all do improve in many different ways, but they seem to learn from each other. And I think the suite experience becomes more elevated when you go to something like Wonder, and then it gets elevated again when you go on something like Icon. But that's not to diminish what this suite experience is like here on Anthem. Now, where we are right now, this is the Concierge Club. Now, this is on deck 12, right at the rear of the ship. Now, interestingly, if you watched our embarkation video, and if you haven't, I'll put a link to it in the description below. When we arrived on the ship, in our heads, our first plan was to go to the Concierge Club and sort of set up camp here, and because we had bags and everything. We couldn't get access to this room because you needed to get access to the corridors where the cabins are, and obviously those were all shut off until the early afternoon. So it was sort of closed off to us until we'd had our keys, which was a bit of a shame, really. And it's felt a little bit unnecessary.
You say it's not necessary. It absolutely is necessary because of the location being at the end of a passenger cabin corridor.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Fair enough. Yeah. And the space is very nice. It feels very traditional, very kind of a bit old school, old worldy, cruisy, if that's a thing. But what it does lack is a bar, and I think that it would be, if it had a bar, I'd probably spend a lot more time here. Now, you can get drinks, and one of the other perks as being a suite guest in a full suite is that you have access to this space in between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. every single night. They have waiter service, and you can get any drinks, and it's all completely complimentary. So if you're not on a drinks package, or you don't have the loyalty to have free drinks, then, and you want to get, or you can just start a heavy drink, or be like a cocktail before dinner, this is a great option to have without, free drinks. Who doesn't love free drinks? And lots of little appetizers over there, which are really, really tasty. Also, your concierge is situated here throughout the day and in the evening. So any issues you have, any questions, they kind of act as a bit like, well, like guest services, Crown and Anchor services, all of these services that you have just rolled into one person. And on this ship and on Anthem, the suite concierge is just fantastic.
Her name's Lorena.
Lorena.
She's from Mexico, and she's absolutely fantastic.
She is amazing.
She will do absolutely anything for you. As Ant said, she's guest services, she's CNA services, you know, she's your personal assistant, kind of like all wrapped into one. Yeah. So
if you ask her really, she might even cut your hair.
I'm not sure about that.
One of the other things that we haven't mentioned that you get as being a full suite guest on Anthem on the Seas is internet for one person per device, which in itself is worth sometimes $25 a day, I think, depending on the sailing you're going on.
I think it was $21 a day for
on this sailing.
For this sailing.
So is that per person? So we're saving $42 a day straight off the bat just for having a full suite in internet, because we would have bought the internet on top regardless. And so that's another great perk.
Although I would say the internet perk on some other cruise lines, such as Princess, allows multiple devices per person. I think currently on Princess, on the Premier package,
Premium, the top end package
is four devices per person. Now you might think, why on earth would you need more than one? Every time I swap from my iPhone to my iPad, I've got to re-log in, and it's just, okay, you know what, first world problems, but it is quite annoying, and every time I have to do it, I think, oh, I would really love 2 devices on the package rather than one, but, you know.
This space is also open 24 hours a day, which is what you might hear.
Hence why you can hear people have turned up this late. It's like 10:30 at night, and they've come to get their coffee hit before bed or before moving on to the casino or wherever. And talking about this late in the evening, the turn down service is another real, I say a real high point. It is, again, some of you may be thinking, A, what is a turn down, or B, why on earth would you even need it?
If you're a new cruiser, you wouldn't have known the hardship of losing the turn down, I think, because I think us veteran cruisers find that the turn down was such a lovely addition to the service that you already get.
Wait a minute, I'm not a veteran cruiser. That makes me sound old.
You are old.
Oh. What I love about a turn down is I love to be out at dinner or at a show or the casino or wherever. You call it a night, you go back to your cabin, you open the door, the lights are down low, your bed has been made if you've been having an afternoon nap like I regularly do. The bathroom is refreshed, you've got clean towels, your bins have been emptied. It's just so nice to have effectively what is a second clean later in the day. So I know a lot of people have kind of shrugged it off and said, you know what, moving from 2 cleans a day down to 1, it's no big deal. I actually think it is. And if you can secure a cruise line and a cabin type like we have here that still offers you 2 cleans per day, I really rate that.
I do appreciate appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, not just because we're really messy, but yeah, it does. It helps to elevate the whole experience of being on Royal Caribbean. I can't think of any other perks, but I tell you what, if we have forgotten any, make sure you put it in the comments below, because share the wealth, or share the information, share the knowledge with your
Just share something.
Just share something. Share this video, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you liked it. And that's the sweet life here on Anthem of the Seas. Of course, we're going to go now and order some chicken wings from room service, because if you're a full suite guest, you don't have to pay the $7.95. But if you are not subscribed to this channel, what you will miss out on in a future episode is us comparing the Johnny Rockets $15 burger to the Wagyu beef burger that you get on room service for $7.95 if you're not in a suite, or it's free if you're in a suite.
I'm so not taking part of that challenge.
You are taking part in that challenge. Until then, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.